Hey guys, welcome to Y&R Daily Update YouTube channel. Today's topics: will Y&R's eligible bachelor Holden become the new leading man of Genoa City? Holden was initially written as a side character to Damien, but has hold his own. On the Young and the Restless, January 8th, Audra is keeping a tight hold on Holden. She assumed they would end up as friends after what they endured in Los Angeles. Holden has grown close to Claire. With his complicated past and potential love interests, he could pose a tough challenge to Kyle. Key takeaways: Holden treated Audra as an acquaintance rather than a good friend. She assumed they would become good friends. Audra questioned Holden's relationship with Claire. She didn't seem insecure. She seemed intent on holding on to another man she wanted. Holden's awkward run-in with Audra at Crimson Lights. Audra Zulika Silver grabbed coffee when Holden Nathan Owens ran up to her and returned the gloves she dropped. He referred to her as Miss. Audra asked if that was where their relationship stood these days. Then, she joked that the police hadn't come for them yet. She wondered if Claire Haley Aaron said anything to them. Holden admitted to Audra that he never told Claire what really happened in Los Angeles, but he's planning to. Audra wanted to know why Holden hadn't told him. She warned him that if Claire takes her down, she'll take him down too. Holden admitted that he's tired of keeping the truth from Claire, especially when there are feelings involved. Audra is aware that Holden is protecting her, but she can tell that he's regretting it. He was the only good man she met in Los Angeles, but now he's treating her differently, and she doesn't like it. Why the sudden turnaround? Holden reminded Audra that when he first showed up in Genoa City, she treated him like a complete stranger. Audra admitted that she was cold and standoffish to him, but she only wanted to keep him at a distance because she wanted to leave what had happened in LA behind now. Audra is having regrets. She can tell that she's losing her friendship with Holden to Claire. Ever since he started having feelings for Claire, he's treated her differently. Audra wanted to know why Holden was trying to score points with Claire. Audra doesn't like losing a man's interest. Even though she won't admit it, there's some part of her that's interested in Holden. She loved it when he followed her around town, but now that he's involved with Claire, it's driving her crazy. Audra reminded Holden that, although they might not be friends, they would never be free of each other because of what had happened that night. She also told him that he deserved better than Claire. Audra is clearly bothered by their close-knit relationship because she wants what they have. What this could mean: Holden was initially written as a side character to Damien Jermaine Rivers, but he's found his way after the loss of his friend. He might end up becoming Genoa City's most eligible bachelor. It makes sense since he's good-looking, caring, and charming. Holden has sizzling chemistry with anyone, including Lily, Crystal, Khalil, and Victoria Amelia Heinel. However, he's set his sights on Audra. As we head into 2026, Holden might finally get the main character energy he desperately needs. Subscribe our channel for more latest update. Every era of the Young and the Restless has its defining leading men characters who don't just anchor romances, but shape the emotional and narrative gravity of Genoa City itself. From Victor Newman's iron-fisted dominance to Jack Abbott's complicated charisma, from Nick Newman's brooding vulnerability to Adam Newman's tortured intensity, the title of leading man has always meant more than romantic appeal. Now, fans are asking a new question, one that would have seemed unlikely not long ago. Could Holden be the next leading man of Genoa City? Once positioned as a supporting player with ambiguous motives, Holden has quietly evolved into one of the show's most intriguing eligible bachelors. And in a town where romantic real estate is always shifting, his rise may not be accidental. What makes a leading man on Y&R? Before we examine Holden specifically, it's worth defining what leading man means in the Y&R universe. A true leading man drives story, rather than reacting to it, commands attention in both romantic and dramatic scenes, exists at the intersection of power, vulnerability, and moral ambiguity, sparks debate among fans. Holden has recently begun checking those boxes, and viewers have noticed Holden's transformation. From background to center stage, when Holden first appeared, he wasn't positioned as a heartthrob or hero. His presence felt calculated, his motives unclear. He operated in the margins, observing, waiting, inserting himself strategically. That ambiguity worked in his favor. Instead of rushing him into romance, Y&R allowed Holden to marinate in mystery. Over time, the layers began to peel back, revealing a man shaped by control, patience, and a desire to matter. That slow burn is key. Leading men aren't declared, they emerge. The power of restaurantane. Of Holden's most compelling traits is his restraint. Unlike many Genoa City men, Holden doesn't overplay his hand, rarely explodes emotionally, observes before acting. That restraint gives him presence. In a town filled with big personalities, quiet confidence stands out and often signals future authority. Why? Holden works as an eligible bachelor. Appeal isn't just about looks or charm, it's about possibility. He's unattached. He's emotionally guarded. He carries unresolved history. That combination makes him a blank canvas for multiple romantic directions, which is essential for a leading man. Fans can imagine him with a woman who challenges his controls, one emotionally wounded day rival who becomes a lover. That flexibility is valuable storytelling currency. Fan buzz isn't accidental. The growing fan conversation around Holden didn't come from nowhere. Viewers are responding to his chemistry with multiple characters, his unpredictability, his refusal to fit neatly into hero or villain roles in soap storytelling. Fan engagement often guides elevation, and Holden's name is being mentioned more frequently in future-led discussions. Genoa City is due for a new romantic anchor. Several longtime leading men are either paired off, entrenched in family dynamics, locked into legacy-driven stories that leave space and romantically for someone new to step forward. Holden fits the timing perfectly. He's not weighed down by decades of backstory, yet he's textured enough to feel real. That balance allows writers to shape his trajectory without rewriting history. What Holden offers that others don't. Holden doesn't rely on legacy. He isn't an Abbate Numene chancellor. That independence gives him narrative freedom. He can challenge power without inheriting it. He can earn influence rather than assuming it. In today's Y&R, that distinction matters. The emotional core is still reason Holden hasn't yet fully claimed leading man status is that his emotional interior remains largely unexplored, but that's an opportunity, not a flaw. When Y&R chooses to open that door through romance, betrayal, or loss, it could redefine him overnight. Leading men aren't born, they're revealed. The risk of elevation, overexposure. Of course, there's a risk in pushing Holden too quickly. Fans are cautious about forcing him into center stage. Romance diluting his mystique, turning him into a generic hero. An arc must resist the urge to rush. Holden's strength lies in earned focus, not sudden dominance. Chemistry will decide everything ultimately. Holden's future as a leading man will hinge on chemistry, not just romantic chemistry but narrative chemistry. Who brings out his best scenes? Who challenges him? Who destabilizes him? Once that pairing lands, the shift could be immediate. The Rinse take. Holden has the blueprint, not the title yet. From the Rinse perspective, Holden has all the raw materials of a leading man. Presents potential fan curiosity. What he lacks is the defining storyline, the one that forces him to choose who he is. That story feels imminent. Why? Holden's rise reflects a larger Y&R shifty, and has been slowly expanding its definition of power. Not all influence comes from money or lineage anymore. Emotional intelligence, strategic patience, and moral grayness now carry weight. Holden embodies that evolution. His rise wouldn't replace the classics, it would complement them. Could Holden anchor the next generation? As the show balances legacy characters with emerging faces, Holden could serve as a bridge. He's mature enough to engage veterans. Fresh enough to connect with newer characters. That versatility is rare and valuable. Final thoughts. Leading men aren't announced, they're accepted. Will Holden become the new leading man of Genoa City? The honest answer, only if the audience allows it. Y&R can spotlight him, they can deepen his story, they can test him romantically and morally, but leading man status isn't granted, it's earned through sustained investment. Right now, Holden is standing at the threshold. And if Y&R plays this right, he may not just become an eligible bachelor, he may become the man everyone's story revolves around next, in Genoa City. That's the truest measure of a leading man.